Hello family and friends, it's Kanoi. I am finally here with my junk journal, almost completed, flip through. I just finished my closure today and this little tassel, which just has a bunch of really random things, but I was really excited because I got to use up some of my vintage buttons and new buttons and just a lot of fun little things that I have been finding, at little estate sales or just on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. So it's almost like a bunch of little treasures inside of one big, messy, eclectic tassel. And I'm okay with that. I wanted to have just a mixture of a bunch of things. I created this closure so that I would be able to have some room for this journal to expand. So if it starts to get a little bit of an alligator mouth like so, I can still clip it on there and I'll still have plenty of room. So for now, while it's still pretty small, I can just clip it right here onto the front. And I just have a little vintage key attached there. But otherwise, that is pretty much it. So this was made out of a big little golden book, and it was the Prayers for Children, I believe it was called. And I wanted to keep this original picture right here on the front, and so I just made a little plate and did some crackle paint. Obviously this is inspired by Johanna, or Little Bindi is her shop name, but Johanna Clough. She is my favorite junk journaler, and she is, I think, probably the first person I ever saw who did junk journaling, and so that's why obviously her style, it resonates with me a lot. Okay, so I kept the inside cover. I didn't really want to put any kind of pockets or anything, but I might come back and do that, some kind of library pocket or something here, but I just thought maybe this can be my, title page or my page where I have that library pocket and things to put in. But there's so much in here, and you can see by the size, I did end up having to sew a lot of pages together so that I could have my pages upright, but I really wanted to have a lot of real estate in this junk journal. There's an eclectic mix of different papers, scrapbook papers, book pages, digital printables, all kinds of things. So I'll try to get through this rather quickly. This is a fabric pocket. I actually got this fabric from, I want to say, a furniture store. You can just order, if you just Google free fabric swatches, a lot of places actually will send you 6 to 10 swatches, just a little hint there. This is a vintage form that I got from Jubilee Flea, I believe is the shop name. Here's a little hanky that I had sewn in, one of the original pages of the little golden book. And then this is a cluster tag that I made. This was literally a bunch of scraps sitting on my desk one day, and I was about to throw them away, and I thought, you know what, I can do something with that. So I just sewed them together and then created a tab out of it. This is the packaging that I got from Jubilee Flea. No, that is not the name. Jubilee Flea is somebody I follow on Instagram. I'll try to find the Instagram shop and link it below, but this was the bag that a bunch of vintage papers came in. I think it was like $30 or something, and a bunch of really fun things. So if you have a hard time getting hold of vintage items and you want that in your journal, you can definitely go on Etsy and find a bunch of people who sell them. Here is a vintage applique that I found at a Hoarder House thrift estate sale. And this was also some stationery that was at her house, a lot of stationery. I do have a video of that thrift haul that I had a ton of fun. I think I spent $50 and I got so much stuff. Some coffee stained resume paper, a doily, brown paper bag. I got these off of Amazon. You can get a pack of like 50 or 100. And some vellum that I got, that was just some scrapbook paper. This is the Flow magazine book. I have mentioned this quite a few times. I believe it's in the UK, so you can't really get these books here off the shelf, but if you order them, they're really expensive. So I will have one page in a junk journal, and that's it, because I don't want to use them all up. I'm still hoarding these, but it says offline is the new luxury, and I just loved this. So I kept it here in the middle so that I could have the whole page there. And a rose envelope that was at that estate sale with a card that was also there. A lot of the rose items, if there's any rose items in here, it's probably from that estate sale. She was a rose collector. An Alice in Wonderland playing card, the other side of that bag. Here's some avocado dyed paper. And as you can see, I sewed a bunch of tabs on here. They were just paper scraps, fabric scraps, vintage fabric, you know, a bunch of things that I just had lying around. Here are some paper flowers that I just sewed across the top of that page, and a vintage card that was at the estate sale. This looks like my dog Charlie, so I already know what I'm going to journal about. That is why I'm so excited to finally get this video out, because I've been holding off on actually journaling, and there's been so much I've been wanting to write about and I haven't done it. So I just need to get in here today. Another original book page from the Big Little Golden Book. And then I sewed another Flow magazine book page in here. I like these pages that they have because it's kind of like a list of the one thing that happened in the day. So it has all of the days of the month, and then I just put the one thing that, you know, was memorable about that day. And then this created a little tuck spot here. These are called Notables, and this is a vintage card from Hallmark, and that was also from the thrift sale. But I mean the estate haul. So cute. I think you used to be able to mail these out as a postcard, but probably not anymore, I'm thinking. And just a little belly band on that page, some avocado dyed paper with doilies or some lace that I had on there. Here is another fabric pocket, a digital printable that I printed on vellum. This is a Planner Society bag, and I ended up sewing down the middle to create tag pockets. So I'll probably actually go in and make some tags, but for now I just have some journaling cards in there. This is a Little Bindi digital printable doily. This is a vintage music page from a children's music book. Another digital from Little Bindi, one of her doilies. This is this trace? I believe this is tracing paper. There's a little pocket. Edith Holden book page. Another digital doily that I printed on vellum here on some ledger paper. And then this, I always like to have some personal touches in my junk journals. So this is, I've had this in my journals before, but this is a Jeppesen, which is from my husband's flight manual, his old flight manual that he was about to throw out. And I was like, no, I need that. I need those papers. So I created a little pocket here, a glassine envelope with a vintage postcard inside. And then I also added some mixed media paper as well as watercolor paper. I believe this is watercolor because it's quite thick. And then in the middle of my signatures, I typically will put an envelope so that I can hide the string. It's not really necessary, but I do it just because I saw one person do it and I thought that's a great idea. And another glassine bag that is a little pocket here, printable doily, the other side of the Jeps or the Jeppesons, little book page. Another printable from Johanna. And I just thought that was cute because this music says boating on the lake. And so this is really fitting. It's a little boat on a lake. And I actually didn't do that on purpose. I put this here and then I saw it and I was like, well, gosh, that works. The other side of the Planner Society bag, that is a pocket. More printed digitals on vellum. And then here is a page that I sewed together. So again, I had to sew pages together so that they're upright. And that is what created a lot of the pockets because I overlapped some of the pages, and when I sewed them together, it created the pockets on these. Here's a little Starbucks, probably from a package, and I cut it out and then I laminated it, and then I just used a little brad so that it had an interactive element to it. And I wanted to keep a lot of these pages kind of blank so that I would have a lot of space to work with. I feel like every time I create a junk journal, I have regrets about the way I do things. Either too many pockets, not enough pockets, not enough decoration, too much decoration. So I feel like this one is might have too many pockets, but at least I left a lot of space to work with where I can add a lot of stuff. I wanted to be able to keep a lot of space in this journal so that I would have room to grow as I start to bulk it up with pictures and whatever else. Here's just an envelope, some packing paper, the envelope there that flips out. This is a vintage book page, and then the library this is an actual library card. I know a lot of us print those out nowadays, but that was a real one. A vintage card. Here's a digital that I just printed and sewed together with a Mantra Wellness magazine page. If you've never seen the Mantra magazine, it is so cute. And there are so many articles that look like this. So I like to put them in my journal. This is the second time I've done it, so that I have some like reading and thought-provoking pages in here if I'm ever bored or if I'm traveling. And then of course I just made a little pocket on that. Another digital. This is the William Morris digital wallpaper that I printed on vellum. Another glassine envelope. This is these little envelopes are from, not envelope, bags are from Park Lane. I got them at Joann's. And then I created a little belly band on this page. Another envelope flip out. The other side of that large envelope. And then I just have another card that is a vintage card from my estate sale that I got. So a lot of journaling space in this journal. I'm really excited about it. This is probably my largest journal with the most space to do stuff, like to be creative in. My first journal had a lot of really personal pages, so I didn't leave myself a bunch of blank space. More pockets. This is tracing paper. So this is some vintage silk that I got. I can't remember if I got this from my friend or if that was from the estate sale, but I made a pocket here. And this is actually a digital wallpaper, both sides, and a little, I tucked in here a flash card that I just sewed the edges. Little flip up. This page, and I have another one in here, I actually bought these off Amazon. So if you look up like vintage coffee stain paper or something like that, you can get a pack of them. I think I bought them a long time ago when I wasn't really thinking, I was like, I don't want to coffee stain any paper, but I realized coffee stain paper is the way to go because you can't duplicate printing the feel that you get when you actually stain paper. This is actually a belt from a dress that I got and never wore. It was a lot cuter online than when I received it. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to use the fabric, and that's what I've done. So I will do that. In fact, I have a pair of, again, my daughter's shorts that she grew out of. So I am going to cut these up, cut the pockets out, probably keep some of the jean material for maybe some tabs or for some scraps, but I never throw out things. I will give away clothing, but if it's cute fabric that I think I can use in a journal, I will keep it. Another glassine bag from Park Lane, another vintage postcard, and I believe this is mixed media paper. And another envelope from Hobby Lobby. I believe that's a Paper Source envelope. So flip out Japanese paper. This is rice paper. And here's another Flow magazine page. And it is damn hot. I mean, I live in Vegas and it's summer. So I thought if I'm going to use this page at any time, it's got to be in August or July. Here's another page from that vintage paper pack on Amazon. And then just an upper pocket here. Another vintage wallpaper digital off of Etsy that I printed onto some matte photo paper. And then I just printed another one of those on the other side of it. So it's pretty thick. And it'll be a good background. Like if I want to add anything, like anything bulky, that will be the perfect page to do it on. So that's the end of that. Again, I kept the original inside cover. And I may or may not come in and do anything here. I just love it. I may journal. If anything, maybe journal on the blank spots, but I want the whole the picture to be able to show. So that is the end of that. I'm so excited to get in here and finally start journaling in it. I know it is going to become quite bulky, but that's okay. That is part of the fun. I don't mind it at all. So I appreciate you being here and watching this. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to comment. I mean, if you have any kind of constructive criticism or anything at all, I'm open to hear your thoughts. And I hope to see you again on another video. So I do have a process video of staining this, seam binding, and also making this tassel here. Obviously this one is very Very eclectic, very wonky, but I love it. So I'm going to post it anyway. And, you know, subscribe if you can, if you want to see more junk journaling videos. And I also, this Saturday, I will have my next Bible study with me. So I hope to see you there. And until then, God bless you guys. Hui ho. Until we meet again. Aloha.